Hello and welcome back to the Well of Doom. So our feet burned right now, just now, but we extinguished them. Luckily you are not injured, but you have been warned now. So we probably don't want to go back to the well. Let's try the cave. You step closer to the cave. As you approach the cave, you notice a sign hanging above the entryway. The sign reads, all who enter here will not escape alive. Be ye warned! You think twice about entering the cave. That's the warned sign. Since we have been warned, it's probably a good idea to enter the cave. You decide to ignore the sign and enter the cave, because you are very smart. The inside of the cave doesn't look as inviting as the outside. So it's less inviting? Or is it sarcasm? It actually looks forsaken and eerie. There's a stair leading down to some sort of room below. As you progress further, you stumble upon remnants of former visitors. The sign you read above makes more sense now that you can smell the damp atmosphere of rotten corpses. You walk along a narrow rocky corridor that descends slightly. A cave room is up ahead and it is illuminated. You enter the cave room, which is roughly circular and lit by torches hanging in sconces on the walls. The light from the torch flames dances across the rocky walls. You wonder who lit these torches and how they managed to stay lit. That's what I'm always thinking in horror games. Why are those torches and candles still burning? How is that possible? Must be magic. However, even more curious is what you find in the center of the room. In the center of the room is a round platform surrounded by 6 statues. The statues are life-size replicas of some of the races in Kellereth. You recognize an elf, a human, an orc, a dwarf, a mermaid, and finally a hobbit. Each statue is facing the center of the circle, and each one of them is holding a weapon of some sort. We can examine a statue, look at the walls of the cave, check the round platform, and walk back to the well. I don't think we can do anything at the well anymore, so let's look at the walls instead. You turn around and walk a bit around in the cave. You notice that there is no other entrance or exit to the cave beside the one you just came through. You wonder what to do next. Let's check out the round platform. You walk in between 2 of the statues and gain access to the platform in the middle of the room. You feel rather uncomfortable standing on the circle with all 6 statues facing you and wielding weapons. Each weapon appears ready to strike anybody standing where you are. The statues are behind you. Don't look behind you! What makes you even more uncomfortable is the presence of a skeleton hanging off the edge of the platform. Oh, look at him! He's just being comfortable with an arm uh, um, behind his head. And there are even more skulls. Apparently some made a wrong choice and did not get very far. You notice an inscription carved into the stone platform beneath your feet, partly covered by one of the previous guests. You push the skeleton from the platform in order to get a view of the entire inscription. It reads, "Guard they must, weapon in hand. Leave the chef alone to stand. Disarm the rest to stay alive. One by one, call out all 5. What does that mean? Let's continue to look around. We looked at the walls and checked out the platform. We have now a new option to begin calling out some names. But you can also examine the statues. Let's look at the hobbit. You approach one of the smallest statues placed to the left. The hobbit statue appears just as you suspect, a stone representation of a hobbit. This particular statue is holding a sharp rake as a weapon. And he smiles, look, he's happy. Second to the left is a statue of a mermaid. This one reminds you of the jungles of Istia, where you encountered the mermaid on your journey. Isn't it exactly the same mermaid? The statue is holding a staff. Oops. Hobbit and human are both age. That's complicated. You look at the human statue at the center of the round platform. It appears to be a sword-wielding fighter taking a defensive position. He just shows us his ass, maybe he's dancing. You step closer to look at the largest statue of them all. Undoubtedly this fellow is a massive orc, and not a too kind looking at that. The thought of the blade's weight he's holding already makes you wince. Fortunately, it's only a statue, you think. You check the dwarf. This one has turned his back to you and is holding a spear in his left. Looks like he's about to strike at the orc in front. So the dwarf doesn't like the orc? The last statue to the right, with bow in hand, is an elf. He looks so serious. I've got to concentrate. Go away. He has collected 2 skulls already. You wonder which tribe he's meant to depict. Compare all of them. You take a step back and let your eyes wander along the whole lot. You notice one thing the statues have in common. Each of them is holding some sort of weapon and pointing them towards the middle of the circle. Maybe that's of some significance? Otherwise, there is nothing particularly special about the statues. Alright, we can call out some names now, because why wouldn't we? When we're in a cave full of statues, we want to call out some names, right?